It's like, that's a lot. A lot look like that. Because let me tell you something, even when Omar Davis' parents died, they wouldn't even let them park over the Four Pass Community Health Center. I mean, not health center, community center. Why? Because of how the terrible the roads are. From Four Pass to even Yorktown, which is a PNP stronghold, it is just awful. And when you leave out of Yorktown and you come into places like Parnassus, because I know these places like the back of my hand, because this is where I've lived. I lived here. I mean, I've been living in Clarendon for over 30 years. I went to school in central Manchester. So even with Rhoda winning and seeing a difference in that constituency, I can say, yeah, I can see the difference because I went to school there. Right? But even Four Paths, it is a disgrace. Coming down to even Four Paths, like I said, Yorktown, going into Parnassus, going through Parnassus, going down Vernon Field, Gimme Bit. And the thing with Gimme Bit, even in that area, the Indians tend to vote more for the Labour people, So that is another thing to why the roads has been in a bad condition for years. Right? Kemsill is another place, bad roads. From you leave Kemsill, go down to Race Course, call it say no roads, Race Course, Water Lane, all the way back up to Alley. Alley Market is where the boundary would have come into play, and then you go over in Purnell Charles constituency. But it's awful, and even some parts of Scott's Pass too, people always complain about Scott's Pass. Part of Scott's Pass is under is in this constituency also. Right? And these places
a section of Manchester falls in his constituency.
Right?
Yeah.
And even Milk River is one of the strong is a stronghold for PNP. And let me tell you something, man. When you down on those roads, and if your car lights them no good, dog name your supper, because there's hardly any street lights. And the funny thing about some of these areas, from before I was even born, they didn't have any proper road, they never have any proper infrastructure. They never have, even now they don't have running water. Like, yeah, they have the pipes and everything, and you have to buy water, and hardly any electricity in some of these areas. So it is just a mess. It is a mess.
A mess. So Mark Golding never get them pump for run a pump house. Delco for run a pump house. How that did work out? And they get them for real?
Run what pump house? Run what?
So a big old generator when Mark Golding get them. Where they?
Which generator? Me don't know about no generator.
People, and at first I hear somebody from Southwest say no generator never give. Him just say it and the media run with it because the media never show the generator. And somebody else from the area said when, for example, current gone and that pump house shut down, when current come back, it'll pull every current to start it up. After it start up, that's when you get back your electricity. So I wonder how a little generator did do all of that.
My electricity, where we live in Four Paths, I think we get our electricity from a different place, depending on which area you are, like if you're in Yorktown and Parnassus, and like I said, even Gimme a bit, Gravel Ground, those areas. And let me make a correction. Part of Ali is in his constituency, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. and I think a part of Lionel Town. And let's not talk about some of the roads in Lionel Town. And even when you go to some places like Banks, Sedgepan, Springfield, Comfort, Rhymesbury, is where even R. Scott have a house run a Rhymesbury right on the main town. And if you ever see the patrol, them are on at the road there. Not to mention, even I know they had done some fixing to go down to even Falker Beach. But there's a reason why in fix up down there. I can't really say it on the live, but his family is known for other things too, you know. And he's not the first one from his family to run on the PNP ticket. I think it was his grandfather. Almost could have beat Hugh Shearer too, you know. So he's not the first one. But like I said, depending on where you live in this part and depending on where you're getting electricity, because I get mine from a different area. I got my electricity even before persons in Gimme, Bintan, Kempsey, those areas also. So I mean, I haven't heard of anybody getting any generator or anything like that. No.
Tell me something there. Pretty. A certain name, Pretty Housing Scheme.
Pretty housing scheme is in Milk River. That last
The
time
road
I went
fix.
down there, it was awful. I think NHT had done little fixing up down there, but nothing to be excited about.
Last time I see them roads there another housing scheme that you other thing say I just hand cart and donkey cart. No vehicle can drive on them there. A
It is.
riverbed type of road.
And like I said, that is in Milk River, and Milk River is a strong PNP, is a stronghold for the PNP. Yorktown as well, right? And even with Yorktown, how much persons know say even Skendon usually control down there, so too. So it's not just Mandeville either, right? It's not just Mandeville. Yorktown is a very bad place. I think they even have like a police. I think they have a police post now and again. I'll say police down there. You know, where every now and again, Yorktown flare up. You hear like somebody get shot, somebody house burned down, something like that. It's been a little while, but like I said, if you hear about these things, it's no surprise. Just like Cherry Tree Lane. Now let me tell you about Cherry Tree Lane. Where I lived at first, I could literally open my back gate and walk to Cherry Tree Lane. So even when cousins come on and he was making this big scene like, these are innocent people. I'm not saying some of them aren't innocent. But for the most part, Cherry Tree Lane was like a hot spot. I can give you an incident where back in 2021, I had some guys just randomly come up to my house. I had that time I had 3 dogs, 3 German Shepherds, and they were trying to video them to put them on TikTok. So I came out and I'm like, no, I don't want you to video them because they were videoing my house. And something, me cussed them off, but something didn't sit right, and I went upstairs on my balcony, videoed their car, their license plate and everything. And I reported it down to the Fort Pass police station, only to realize that a few days later, because when the police saw one of the video that I did with the car, he was like, wait, aren't you looking for this car? And he wrote on a license plate and whatever. No, I don't know if you guys remember, but I think almost 2-3 years ago, there was a huge fine of ammunition around Cherry Tree Lane. And it was around that same time, those persons, like I said, came to my house trying to video my dogs outside and everything. I found out a couple of days afterwards that some of the guys who were at my house, they were also involved in that ammunition bus. So Cherry Tree Lane has never been this quiet, nice place.
They did not come to just video the dog, they really was checking out the place.
Right?
That's what they were about. Remember there was this police, Virgo. he was killed in the same Church Lane area. I think it was between 2010, 2011, somewhere there. Maybe
Yeah, man, Muggle
2012.
dog him name.
Yeah.
No, him good, man. I Muggle dog him name, man. I want to look at you with the shoot him, man.
Yeah, man.
Him a one of the, him supposed to be the second police in Jamaica where in the come the disarm him gun from.
Oh.
Yeah, why you know good. And actually, alright, I'm gonna tell you what is going on. 3 youth did go in my yard and then kill the 3 of them. And after that, them disarm him gun, him in the come, they take away him license gun and take away him service gun from him. And them go kill him in my yard. Real. Uncle dog, you know, a real thing happen, brother. No joke. Yo, me I telling you something still. I hear she a talk about you see Yorktown. We can't tell you me because we live on the borderline of Clarendon and St. Catch. Yo, Yorktown and no one joke place in it. Yeah, me tell you true everything we can talk. You know where it go. You see my brother but me tell you I don't want joke place. Yo, one I tell you when we little in man. The such man not even have to call him name. They have one little hot foot we run up and down when him land.
But I advise if you left the argument there.
Alright, brother. Because me I telling you, yo, listen me I telling you, say, you see the whole of them place there, I don't know like how them make it look. Yeah, them place they are bad.
I think we should just stick to the bad roads.
So really, mama can everything can talk about certain things. Yeah. But what me I telling you see, alright, you see,
I just not telling us if we stick to just politics, left certain things alone.
You see cousins, bro. See cousins. And money them man they use and run politics, yeah. Because them family have one big construction thing we are going so I them use and capture people. Them just give them some American way. Just listen me I tell you. Them not gonna fix no road because them just going to politics to get more work. That's all.
Because the roads are awful, and if you even know the main road, like I said, and even with 4 paths, remember 4 paths is another area where if anything happens on the highway, you have to divert through here. You'd have to divert through here. And if I don't know if you're familiar even where Audrey Williams have her funeral home, that stretch of road, you know, it is awful. It is awful.
I was on that road last week, Saturday.
Yeah, and you can see it because
in fact, last week Friday to be exact, yeah. Last week Friday.
It's if I want to round about there with the man sell the jelly, the whole of this comes straight to which one the tire in there. We go in Havana Heights, it goes straight down. You have no road.
Oh, you mean Jacobot, where the tire is, you call there's a Jacobot, and then you go over in the Havana Heights, and that can carry you. Yeah, no road. It is just, it's ridiculous. And you know, the funny thing is, I always say, no, if Kent Gammon had won against Lothan Cousins, you would have seen taximen come out striking. You would have seen them protesting against the roads and everything. And, you know, it's just sad. Because when you listen to me, man, there are too much wastelands in Southwest Clarendon. We could be a little bread basket right here in this constituency because there's so much wasteland, right? Even down Vernon Field, right? Back then in my father's time, you know, they used to even plant rice down there, you know. I used to plant rice over there. The land is fertile, right? And I'm saying, you know, if we could even fix these roads, convert some of these, because even in Parnassus right now, you know, the government, I see them doing some work over there where they're going to lease some of those lands to persons to do some farming on also.
Most of those land was cane land, you know.
Yeah, a lot of those lands were cane land. I mean, what we're seeing now is not even half of what it used to be. And then with the closing down of some of these sugar factories, it just created a lot of unemployment, a lot of poverty in in the Chemsil belt and gravel ground, give me a bit, all those areas, race course, water lane, you know, and growing
Because
up as a
you notice them dump most of the canal, you know. There's a canal that runs right through there. Them dump the canal, them.
well, the canal.
These being that the backside area is in that southwest
No,
Clarendon.
backside is over Charles area, but still
So
close by.
all of them pipe and them red dirt and what me see over. What go on for over there, so? What they have over there, so?
You mean the Mud Lake?
I know Mud Lake. Me
No,
not
not the
talk
Mud
Mud
Lake.
Lake. Me I talk near to
Jamalco.
no man. There's a train line and close to the train line you see some it's like one little something like one plant, one mini plant.
Which train line? You have to tell me which train line.
I know them place are good now, but there is a agro park down that side.
You mean down Ebony Park?
We not Ebony Park you drive go there, so? No?
That's the only agro park I can really.
No man,
Oh, I
there's
something like that.
there's
I want to
three
be over
agro
there.
parks in southwest Clarendon. Three.
So which one?
One is at Ebony Park.
Yeah.
One is at Panarsos.
Oh,
And
that's Panassos. Okay.
and then there's
No
one
man. Okay.
another same region there of Panarsos, somewhere not too far from there.
You know the funny thing, back then after you came out of Panassos, there was the banana crossing. I had a lot of bananas out there. I think it was an Israel company too. You used to have to stop and allow the banana to cross. I can't remember that as a little girl. I don't even know what happened. More than likely PNP ruined it. Yeah.
Because our PNP right now they're ruining you, know.
Yeah.
You were saying something, Rusty?
Boy, I want to say something, but I'm kind of afraid because you don't got that area there. See that place there? It's not a nice place for to talk about, you know.
If you're afraid, not say nothing then.
That place where we just talk about that place and you're in a
For
problem.
real, you know. For
Good
real.
night, everyone.
The roads are terrible. Good night there.
Good night.
They're too terrible, man.
Even in Havana Heights, them build some house, them give us some land. Man, them PNP, them give us some land around there. All of the house, them has if rain fall for 5 minutes, you know. Water, get the knee deep in the water in the house, you know. Because a swamp land, them, a sugar cane land, them. But you see them set of people, you can't tell them nothing about vote for Labour, right? Them can't do it. Any of them vote for Labour, right, the whole of them have to run, right?
The thing is, it's just that, like I said I said to persons, I said, people will suck salt through a wooden spoon for the PNP. They will suffer under the PNP, and I have to really wonder why. But like I said to some persons, I think it was last night, it is a psychological thing. And
It's a kind of personalization of the communities.
and it's also a psychological thing too, because you know what, if you continually beat use your foot and kick me down and tell me say you're worthless, work more than just one little $5,000 so you can buy one little box lunch, and I'm gonna start to believe.
Miss
Start to believe.
Miss Jen, PNP is a cult organization. They are
Yes,
cults.
it is a cult.
So the thing is, one more is what lot all me not hear film contribution in Parliament, but
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting to hear that.
What have you done with film constituency funds? What I'm doing with it?
Let me let me tell you something. Even when Noel R. Scott was an MP, and he was, I think, he was minister of local government, and I think at the time around 2016, if I'm not mistaken, Adi Shah had brought up something in Parliament. I think R. Scott had gotten over 100 million or some high figure at the time to spend in his constituency. I asked Noel R. Scott, when you spending money? When you spending CDF money? A church sister of mine, she's a big woman for me still. She's a JP down Kemsill, and when she asked him what happened when not fix the road, him say, oh, we not get no money, he not get no money. That is what he was saying, you know. And at that time his party was in government. Right? But that is what they like to say, oh, the government don't give them the money. I a couple of years ago, probably shortly after Lothan came into, he was the new MP, probably like a year or a couple of months, you know, I said something about the roads being fixed, and you know, and him kind of faced with me back on Twitter and say I need to tag the Economic Council and I need to tag the Prime Minister, NAA. He was basically telling me that I should do his job. That's what he was saying. He was basically telling me I must go do his job, because it's like he's saying maybe I can get their attention and how he has done this and blah blah blah. He's a very feisty man, you know. He's a very feisty man.
I have a question for you, Shin. What of the constituents, the residents in the constituency? Are they complaining? Are they, well, we know them not go protest unless it's a Labourite MPs there, but do they communicate, like talk
I
on the
think,
ground that they would want better?
of course, I mean, right, you see, the problem is, like I said, you see, they're so used to not having any good representative that they don't care. They don't vote. They just feel like, you know, nothing's going to change. And I've said to even a couple of my friends who live down Race Course and Kemsill, I say, you can't just give up, so, you know. You can't just give up, so.
Who is the caretaker for the constituency now?
Right, you see, and that is another thing that this party has been slipping in. Right now, I don't even know who the caretaker is. I had to search around, even with local government. I had to search
Like
around.
the Labour Party, they never was strong, PMP strong, well, them fees, they don't make no sense, nobody them, they like that style,
And the
Sometimes
funny
I waste of time still in a chrome as me not go
Sometime,
yeah,
but
sometimes
I
it
waste
is.
of time,
Sometimes
I
it
tell the
is.
truth.
Can I say something, please? The problem going on at that place is, you see, the people them cannot, it don't make no sense to them to vote Labour right, because anytime if it should have ever happened as Labour right win down there, there will be pure bloodshed.
That is another thing too.
You know,
But at the same,
about it.
but at
but
the
we at the
same,
same time, Rusty, so we're gonna just lift up, so there's one to the soldier and the army or whatever.
Can't happen to around this. It's either you leave it alone or you put a military base around there.
Alright, they have to put a military base. We can't just load them and get rid of them something there.
Vernon,
Otherwise,
they
so.
don't know a military base can put right this up. But you see, the thing is,
I want to see a garrison around there, brother. It's a serious garrison, you know. And let me
the
tell you
thing
something
is,
about them people around there. They hate Labour right with a passion. If you go around there, you're Labour right, and they know them just a look for you every minute. Every minute, them just a look for you. That is a place where I go all the while, man. Them just a
You
look
may
for you.
understand, Rusty.
well,
But changes have to make, brother. Changes have to make, they have to make changes, brother. You can't just like so, till they're dead.
I people them have to
Exactly.
decide that, you know. I people them have to decide that, you
They
know.
have to decide that, you know.
Brother, Labour right live around there, you know. Enough Labour right, you know, but them have to keep quiet.
Okay.
Know that.
Well, when I went to vote in the local government, I wore my green shirt and I walked into that polling station, past the little scum read them, and for the first time I said, you know what, I'm not gonna let anybody intimidate me, because what they like to do, you know, especially at 4 parts, they like to come out in the numbers. The same hungry belly people what I see the last time. Them are suffer, they still have a little wash out PNP shirt and then can't even get a new PNP shirt. All them do are stay around for try intimidate people. But this time I said no. Put on my green shirt. Went and vote. My candidate lose, but hell, I voted. Because I'm not going to sit down and not vote. It is my duty. It is my duty, because you know what? There was a JLP guy, you know. McDonald for the tollgate division, if I'm not mistaken. I think he won by 1 vote, right? And say PNP end up flip the seat because a guy named Knight, I think, win back now, right? So if Labour Rights had gone out and vote, we could at least have that seat, for the local government election. But like I said, it's like they just turn off
Then give up.
bias. They give up, yeah.
Then give up.
Because even me, sometimes I say, why me I vote? Because it's like we're gonna lose, but me still go, me still go vote. I got my vote.
We may live up here, so you see?
Yeah.
It's the only difference with up here and down where you there. So much of the violence now up here, them are so violent up here. But it's basically the same thing. We just have vote sometime, but even though we have the seat right now, chances are, if we win back the seat, it's going to be a half-and-part race.
I believe if Andrew Owen start making present in some of these areas,
Yes.
he can make a difference.
I love Andrew, I want to vote for him, but what you think of him? You sit down in them places, down in a cousins, them place and them place. You cannot, if the voting if it takes them realize that the voting is switch and Labour right.
Rusty, don't listen for me placing up. After me placing up, Rusty. Understand me?
The thing is, what the thing is,
So me want to know, we are just left up to the situation. We are just left up to them, so.
Anthony, if you come, give the people some reassurance, man.
Why? You see
the thing is, it's a life and death situation.
Let me just.
Barry Salmon have a song where I'm singing, you see? Some things are not meant to be, so why not let them be? Let me tell you something. You see, some things, until the day of judgment, are going to be like that. You have to just allow that.
Okay, Rusty, man.
We don't believe in that, though. We don't believe in that, brother Rusty. I don't believe in that.
You sound weak, Rusty, man.
No, why me can't finish that?
Go on, Rusty, go on.
Finish that, Rusty, but don't stop your man talk, brother. Finish that, man.
All right, we don't talk.
You see, like I
you can't talk.
No, Rusty, man, but I talk them the Rusty, man. You can't just hold on.
No, like I said,
just give up.
Whole heap of people down there, all the while, I know the place.
No, you see,
Hey,
persons who really know what that family is about and how they made their wealth, how they made their money. It's a lot more serious than you guys would think.
And
like I said,
explain.
And I'm just gonna say,
hello.
yeah.
Can I say something?
And there's a reason why, especially that road to Falka Beach is fixed up.
Me a family missing, man. But nobody can tell about the street, man. Rusty, I tell me, brother, it's like you give up war and the war don't start yet. We need some reassurance from the Prime Minister.
Hold on. We did say we're not talk about certain things. That's the reality. Cool. At the same time, this lady was brave enough to come and talk about the Southwest constituency. Because this picture here that I have up, I would have done a live about this. And people promised that they would have come on and say something, and they did not. You understand? And I'm pretty sure on the day when I was doing this, people would have been on the platform or in the chat, and they did not come up. You understand? I want to hear about the schools. I want to hear about the community center, if there's any. The play field, if there's any. What is happening at the Milk River Bath and Spa? I want to know what is happening with the beaches. I want to hear about these things.
I can tell you, even with Milk River Bath and Spa, it still look run down because I actually passed there in August. It still look the same. It looks shabby. Not much is being done there. Yorktown Community Center, the wall, I don't know. I mean, the only thing him do is paint up, live good on it. It still looks crappy. The road to even turn into the community center looks like crap. The Four Pass Resource Center, basically, some of the police they'll stay over there. But for the most part, yes, he did his back to school treat, but I mean that's not a lot, you know. I remember Crooksgate basic school, that is before you're going to Vernon Field, right at the entrance going into Vernon Field. At one point I doubt if they even have running water now. I doubt, and like I said, that's a stronghold. Kemsill High School is one of the most prevalent one. The road to Garvey is a disgrace. Like I said, Garvey it would be further down. Same Vernon Field vicinity. The road down there is awful because you can drive that way to go down to Milk River also. But there's not much. There's like I said, I mean, I grew up in this area. I mean, I travel on these roads almost every
Classic.
Sunday.
Classic.
Every
Girl,
McGraw,
I give
Sunday.
me a bit. I want my
McGraw
God
the
give me a bit
MP.
earlier this
McGraw,
year.
Mm-hmm.
There's a man, I think I even give me a bit that, but it a close to give me a bit. And there's a community center, and there's a school next door to the community center, and not even door not upon the community center.
Again a bit, man.
Okay, yeah, man.
Give
So
it a lead.
infrastructures like those, no attention is paid to it.
Because I mean, even this area, gravel grown, you pass gravel grown when you drive, because you can drive two ways to go Kemsill and Water Lane. So you can, when you come over the train line, when you're going into Crooksgate and then you're going to Vernon Field, there's you can turn left, take the left. You pass a place called Kenloss, and you go down further. There's a community called Gravel Ground. The church is right there. And it's always PNP they vote for. I can tell you that because that's where my family is from, Gravel Ground. And all up here, I mean, there's not even a road. And if you go further, you can go up into an area called Moreland Top. And it's a disaster. You can't. And they have been
Let's see, go
voting
ask
for
something, come
PNP
and come down
all
out of the
these
box.
years.
Just so I make a general statement, we're not finished here.
Moreland and New York, state place. Moreland and no something there.
Make a general statement. I'm not talking about fear here directly, but you know what I say? If
Come on,
we
go
stay
ahead.
like, this is what I say, my brother. I do respect to all and whatever. This channel here, we understand about the situation in your place. But if we did a back down like that, the sense make PNP come with down and this country, that Jamaica. And right now, Jamaica don't have a dictatorship with PNP. Right now, at that time, not Jamaica right now, we them put some people at some places. Within the 18 years, that some places make them go like them around Jamaica. Right now, me sacrifice have to make my brother. Right now, cause we not talk like if from certain things to certain, we can't talk about it. We can't do nothing about it. We just left it so. Man, I can't kill all of our brother. I'm telling you, this is a
All
general
right, so
statement. Never talk about it.
People need
let me
to
tell you my
come
reality
together and
about this, my
change.
If
friend.
that alone right now, we not
Classic.
talking at Jamaica right now.
Let
And
me
I'm
tell
telling
you,
you, people used to
You
do
hear me
it.
I say, see?
let me tell you my reality about it.
You want me to
You
talk
say
before you?
Miss Chen lives in the area.
No, we're not
All
talking
right.
about that.
No,
I'm make a
listen up,
general
just listen
statement.
up.
We never talk
Listen
about
up, listen up,
specific
listen up, my friend.
fear era.
No, listen, because all of this, the general statement is
You
stemmed from.
want me to talk before you, classic? You hear me
Well,
I
I'm
say?
just make the statement, please. So the general statement is stemmed from this conversation, and Miss Chen, that's a boy. People came videoing our dogs, but the reality, are not just our dog in that video. Them that really check out our place,
We
and
understand that.
and the fact that we know say most of the garrisons there in that area there. All right. I don't want to know that because of this platform, Miss Chen we hear something bad happen to Miss Chen.
Yeah, we understand. No,
Oh
but
no,
that's
I
why,
don't live
yeah.
there anymore. It's alright, man. I'm not afraid
Okay,
of him.
good. And no, you know, so we not afraid for him for lick out back.
Let me answer again, Classic. One more thing I'm going
We're
to
not
say.
afraid of that, you know. We
What
know
All
it.
right, this,
Everybody
this,
know that.
want me to
let me just say
classic?
one more
And
thing.
the
Listen,
people will feel
come I go
defeated
jump
in
out of the
that
box.
You want me to
Let me just say one more thing. Come I go jump out of the box. What are my brethren? Let me say one more thing. So all of this we are talking about with the constituency, bad roads and nothing done or whatever. So I just raise your ways, they cannot change not gonna make them. That's all. So why
Brother, I
we are
hate,
really
brother,
talk about it then?
me no like when
Why we
time
are talking about it
labor
then? If no
rights.
changes not gonna make right, that's all.
Me no
we
like
not
when
gonna say
time
no
labor
changes
rights.
now gonna make. It's just that.
Yo,
All right. So for
classic.
example, even in a central Clarendon, we have 4 divisions, and Canaanites division is always won by the PNP.
That's
And
true.
the reality is that the Labour right could have won it the last time, and the time before, and the time before. But for some
As well, may I
reason,
say Classic, as long as PNP can control and place, it's not going to change.
me just wonder if it is that the
It's not
Jamaica
gonna,
Labour
as I
Party
said before,
policy
PNP party is a
conspiracy.
cult
Hello.
organization.
Yeah, me
Me
I
just
say
a,
you see,
me
PNP
just
tell
a
plain
think
say
that the
the people
Jamaica
suffer cool
Labour
on it.
Party probably
you
has a
see,
Well,
you
well.
see, you
but
see,
just
you
one
see,
thing I come out
Too
there.
much. It
you
will
see,
take
you see,
too
PNP
much
tell
you see
to
them,
change the
2011 election, you see, 2011 election it was that was the closest JLP come to win that seat, right? All right, 2016, it come very close, just the same. But here what happened now? After 2011, no representative, the person gone. After 2016, no representative person gone. This no representative from JLP, then gone. Then I come back.
They don't
They
work
come
the
back.
seats. That is the thing.
That's the thing. So
And and
if people them say no, they not see nobody. The people them go like if JLP they go
exactly.
like content. The people them say they want. Me tell you, so you see where stay say if you vote for JLP this and that not no go so. Them all
Yeah, so me I try
maybe
bring
like
it
Because
across.
okay,
maybe like
can you guys remember
maybe like
even
only
when
me
the
can't talk.
last
And water
Let me
lane me
talk.
grow up
I'm
in a
soon
man.
come off. Me not
Cause
stay for you.
me know say talk about water lane me grow up in a man.
Let me
So me
talk
know what
from
she talk about, And
let
what
me
I'm
come
saying
off
to
from
you,
because
I
me
just
can't
don't
talk.
like when they put yellow tape around this community and write it off. Me
All
don't
right,
like
look
that
here.
style. Like.
Look here. Big up Paca. Big up DJ and everybody on the panel. Big up Classic. You see, sometimes when we talk here, we make a lot of a difference. We make a lot of difference, Even though we might not see the impact, but take my advice, man. We make difference, So sometimes whenever we talk, we might feel that it's falling on deaf ears, but we make a lot of difference, right? Because even
But
though
what I'm saying, the road is very bad, yeah. But I'm saying, you see, it can win, but it just represents people need to come and campaign. You can't wait until election or come next month. People are coming around this month.
if you
You
guys
know
can
what I'm saying?
remember when Kent Gammon, the last time Kent Gammon was running, you had people, especially because I know a couple of those persons who were with him on the campaign trail too. They're from Kensal. But if you can remember certain communities that he was going into, the same PNP that try block him from going in. And even with him, I remember my father was even speaking with him and he was saying, if some of the big wigs had come down to and give him the support that he needed, the seat could have probably been won. Probably. He got a lot more votes than the time before. But like I was saying, it's just like even the party itself is like they kind of just give up.
Yeah,
And
I need a
the
second.
people need to realize that they need a change because even I get up and from I've been able to vote, I've always voted. My parents and we've always voted.
people not afraid to go on and campaign again, like yes.
Beg a
Yeah, my
second,
friend.
man. Beg a second. I'm
Not
on the
afraid
panel
again.
too long.
People go on and wait and green.
I need a second to say something, please.
Nobody no wait again. Nobody no stop there
That's
again.
something now. Jack says something now. Man, that's something.
Listen to me. I am following politics from Donald Sangster. And if not, East St. Elizabeth can go to JLP. Any constituency in Jamaica can turn. So we can't be negative.
Cool. I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? All we have to do is give the support, go out and let whosoever supposed to come around and show their faces, and we work and we work and we work, and anything can be turned. We
And
can't
Elder,
be
I'm say
saying
something
this and
again.
that and that and that.
Elder,
We
I'm say
never know
something
we
again.
could get Michael Manley seat. We never know we could get so
Yeah,
many
no.
seats.
Elder,
It's
I'm
more
trying to
like
get in the seat. We never talk about getting the seat. But what me answer by the bigger point when me I make. We cannot leave up this country to criminals and people with
exactly.
money.
Exactly.
And what
That's
you
what
tell me,
me.
say, man,
That's all.
come talk
That's
about
all
this
my
low
point.
place, so them dictate to them, them corrupt, and them money, and them whatever, and them criminal background what them want to have. You can tell me,
That's
say,
my point, bro.
When you give up,
eh?
that's what they want to hear. When you
What,
give
I
up.
used to call down the labor in the 70s and them something that make cool talk. I'm
And
a
and
ice, we are
that's
labor
why
right.
they refrain from speaking out, brother.
No, man, I'm a put such a
Exactly.
post down there, man. And I have to go down there, brother. So them have to go down there, brother. If
Brother,
we
we need
repost
some
some things,
reassurance.
man.
The people need some
The
What you
reassurance,
chat
government,
brother.
say, man?
the government
When
need
I'm
to
come
break
tell
down
me,
the
say,
family
me
deals
around
them.
country and me, I'm an account dictator and come tell me just don't have their money
Brother,
and then criminal
You see
thing
this?
and
We
them have
see.
criminal background and them
You
can't do.
see. I'm
Alright, if it
saying
was
even with
that,
this.
well, I'm gonna say one more thing and I'm gonna cut out, I'm gonna come
Yeah.
out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
If it was that, we'd never have no hero in Jamaica and in the world.
so
That's true.
If you can watch them something there. Who are gonna make sacrifice have a make? All the family have to analyze me too. I
I
saw
can't
it
have no
go.
bloodshed, man.
And the
Bloodshed
next
is for
thing,
a
the
long
next
time,
thing
man.
that bothers
I'm
me,
not bow down to nobody, man. I want to tell you, man.
the next thing that bothers me, that a lot of people in the foreign country like me who run up their mouth every day, they live on their life, and they're not going home to vote. It doesn't make no sense because they're keeping out people who want to say something, who is going home to vote, stopping them from saying something on their life. And those are the things I hate. You have to be a dedicated person.
Anyway, people, I
Country
go jump out of
first
the
and
box
anything
here.
after.
Jump out of the box. Bless up on yourself. Shen, bless up yourself. Be beautiful.
Yeah, you too.
All right,
All
keep
right,
safe.
bro.
Bless.
All right. Blessings.
Yeah, man.
I always said, and I've I have persons who I talk to and everything, and I've always shared the view that we need somebody who isn't going to back away from this seat. We need somebody who is strong, who will work the seat and can have the backing of even the prime minister, even come down, go through some of these areas, things like that. Because like I said, Southwest Clarendon, there's too many waste idle lands for it not to be even turned into housing scheme, for it not to even be developed, cut up some of these acres, give it to people who would farm, and so many things that we can be doing down in this constituency, and it's just going to our waste.
Shen,
It's just going to our
You
waste.
remember,
hold
Ali
on,
Market, right?
let me ask a question. Shen,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to run on the JLP ticket in that area.
See, you're the second person who tell me this.
Yes, because you're eloquent enough. I'm sure you know how to communicate with these persons. You've been
I
living
don't.
in
Hey,
the area.
I'll tell you something. You see, I'm one of the most impatient person. You see the disrespect that MPs get. Me now go take it so. Me now go take it so. But
But
you're
if
not the first one.
the development
Classic.
have
You
to
bring
come
on
from you, then so be it.
Classic. You bring on the mayor the other day, right? And the mayor was talking some reference about the alley market, right? And it was talking about the blueprint of the roads within the community, right? And it was saying these roads supposed to be developed years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago. Remember, I finished Kemsil school.
Oh, you went to Kemsil.
You understand me?
Okay.
Gavin, listen. The whole 9 yard down there are my place, right? Me and the dog them from Guinea Bit. Me and them go to school together. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
So me know the whole 100, me know the whole school. But what I'm saying to your cousins, I don't know because he's saying Waterlane belongs to him. But the little I know, There's nothing done from alley straight back to race course.
Race course,
Banks.
not at all.
You,
Not at
you can
all.
imagine Langwood. You can imagine Langwood.
Not at all. Because
Not
and
at all.
you said that you used to go to Kemsil. Well, my father was the second set of students that went to Kemsil. That time Kemsil was Kemsil secondary. And if things had it go on in a theme time, you can just imagine.
Listen, man.
But
And
like I said, and you're right, because the banks, like the road to go down to banks, them the place the long way. Yes, it's awful. But and then again,
Airfield, Setchpan,
you
Kofel.
remember? Do you remember? When there was a flare up in race course, right? And he himself, Cousins, was begging for like a little Zozo or some state. I think he was asking for a Zozo or something like that. If it happened down there.